Today I'm going to be discussing some of the women in Beowulf that I believe had a significant impact on Anglo-Saxon culture and tradition. Women in Beowulf as a whole don't carry much power on their own. A woman without a husband of power holds very little impact on society and has little say politically. In Beowulf, I found 6 essential female characters that could be separated into 3 groups: hostesses, peace weavers, and monsters. Wealhtheow and Hyde both are queens and hostesses in the story, and have great influence through their husbands, though their kings don't always agree on what they have to say. Friawaru and Hildebur are the failed peace weavers of the story. A peace weaver, in modern language, refers to a woman who is from a certain group and marries into another, to make peace between them. The woman in this scenario holds a great deal of overlooked power and influence, obtained through marriage. Grendel's mother and Thryth are the opposite of a peace weaver, stirring chaos, but nevertheless still holding power through either physical force or political power in the case of Thryth. Now we'll be taking a look at the peace weavers of the story. Hildebur was the daughter of the king of Danes, who forced her to marry Finn, king of the Jutes. They had a son, although even with this binding of blood between the two tribes, war continued to cause ripples through both tribes. After the death of her husband, Hildebur showed no grief, for she was still loyal to her own people. She mourned for the Danes and not for the Jutes. Although married into another tribe, Hildebur was still regarded as a Danish queen, and was well respected among the Danes. Friawaru played a small role, though still relevant, as she was in a way the introduction to the conflict. Whilst offering the cup to the warriors, Beowulf describes how he fears the outcome of her marriage. Friawaru's main impact on the story would be her urging the younger Thanes to fight, increasing their chance of victory. Moving on to the hostesses of the story, Wealhtheow and Hyde. Both are illustrated using positive terms that display the power as strong women. Wealhtheow, being the mistress of Heorot Hall, as well as the wife of King Hrothgar, delivers the cup from Hrothgar straight to Beowulf. In Anglo-Saxon tradition, the order of serving is directly tied into the ranking within the group. By serving Beowulf second, Beowulf's rise in status is hinted at as a result of his promise to defeat Grendel. Because Wealhtheow serves her husband, the king, first, a hint at the status and centrality of Wealhtheow is evident. While Hyde has a lesser part in the story, she is still seen as the perfect woman of this time. Women of this time were meant to be beautiful in the mind, graceful, and generous. Hyde was a proper queen. When her husband died, she tried to pass on all of Geats to Beowulf instead of her own son. Hyde alone made the decision, exemplifying her power. The monsters of Beowulf are powerful beings who use their forceful power to gain an edge in the Anglo-Saxon world. Grendel's mother and Thryth are the perfect counterexamples to the hostesses and peace weavers. Their sheer masculinity sets them apart from noble women such as Wealhtheow and Hyde. In these times, masculinity equals power. Instead of using strong words, these monsters use physical force and weapons. Grendel's mother is described as being associated with the descendants of Cain, the ultimate evil human. Grendel's mother is an outcast to society, and while her actions are seen as wrong and unjust by most, it is evident in the text that Grendel's mother was respected and capable of attempting to avenge her son. Some would say that Grendel's mother was within her right, and perhaps even fully accepted by society in her search for justice. Looking at the roles of women in Beowulf, the centrality of women in society is present in the poem throughout. The high status of women is achieved through marriage to a man of power. A woman in Anglo-Saxon society is weak without a man of power to guide her strong and powerful words. The idea of a peace weaver is to make peace between two tribes, and while the concept seems to be simple, it is often forced upon the woman. Hildebur was regarded as a Danish queen and had no attachment to her husband's tribe. This spurred conflict and encouraged war to continue. Wealhtheow was the wife of a king, therefore her power and influence comes from his high status. Thryth and Grendel's mother act as counterexamples to the peace weavers and hostesses, only interested in themselves. These essential Anglo-Saxon women are all defined by the men that they are related to, either sons, fathers, brothers, or husbands. Women in Beowulf are objects that represent power and are central in the poem and in society at this time.